What's up, guys? I'm Daemonxel, and today we get our first in-depth look at the new Glyph System coming to the game relatively soon, hopefully. It's a new way to power up your characters and take your red teams to that next plateau. So, let's talk about it. Alright, so we have our first look at the new Glyph System. Now, if you are not familiar with the Glyph System, or basically mods from Galaxy of Heroes Star Wars, or what we call ISO 8 in Marvel Strike Force, that's what this is, a new system to modify your characters to bring them extra stats. So, as we look at our first picture here, we're going to be inscribing our weapons of each character. That's why when they do those marquees, they tell you what their weapon type is. And you're going to be able to put 6 glyphs on your weapon, and each one's going to give you something different. So we're going to dig into it here. As you see, you get 3 up top, 3 on the bottom. These are the glyphs, and there are a couple different tiers. They are tier 1 currently, and tier 2, and they say that glyphs are the items that grant powerful stats and passive effects, allowing customization of units on the battlefield. Players can imbue the glyphs onto a character's unique relic. Relics are personal, meaningful objects worthy of imbuement. In other words, that's what we basically see in those marquees. Alright, each relic has 6 slots for the glyphs, each having a unique shape that corresponds to a glyph's shape. Glyphs are unlocked at level 25, so you will have to have your characters level to 25 to be able to start using them. And it says, while there is no cost to place a glyph in a relic slot, there is a gold cost to remove the glyph once socketed if the glyph is higher than a level 1. So, these glyphs, nice animation here, as you see, they're throwing them in and applying it to the weapon, or the relic in this case. Now, they're going to come with 2 different sets, okay? There are major sets and minor sets, and each set will grant powerful bonuses depending on which set you are using. It says, glyphs of all 6 shapes can be found for each set. From a high level, there are 2 categories of sets. So the major one is inscribed with Tengwar script, that's that Elven script, which comes to think about, since these are basically just being introduced into the game, and there will be more to come down the line. Will we be seeing like a Dwarven set? Will we be seeing something from like the Orc lands, Nazgul, stuff like that? So, to have a major, you have to equip 4 of these glyphs to activate it. Minor sets, which says inscribed with Chith script, requires 2 equipped glyphs to activate. So basically what you're saying is, you can either run a major set and a minor set together to get those bonuses, or you can run 3 separate minor sets. Now, it depends on which character you're throwing it on, and what each set does. You'll have to make the decision for yourself which will be best for you. So, moving right into the type of glyphs. Oh, also, those minor sets, all those bonuses stack. So you don't have to worry about, overlapping. They can stack with each other. So for major sets, we have, begins with the Lemba set. On wave start, gain 1 stamina. The first time each ability is used in a wave, gain 1 stamina. So that basically means you will have a total of, for the match, 4 additional stamina given to you. 1 at the start of the round, and 1 when using each additional skill. So your basic, your special 1, and your special 2. That's good. I mean, if you use this in combination with other characters that give stamina, such as Elrond, when he does his healing, if there are no elves to be revived at full leveling, he will give himself 2 stamina. So that's additional with this. Naramiri, with her heal fully leveled, she gives out a stamina to whoever's in the group. The next major set is Last Stand. In each wave, the first time the character falls below 25% health, gain 100% turn meter, dispel 3 banes, and gain 1 stamina. I see this as a very good use for the raids, such as Chapter 4. I think that'll do very well there. Vitality. Whenever this character is critically hit and has fewer than 3 stacks of regeneration, gain 1 stack of regeneration for each turn. Okay, it's good. especially on those characters or some squads that you are running without a healer. I don't think I would pick this above something else, such as the Last Stand. I think that is a very powerful one. And Withering, when this character inflicts a Bane on their turn, they deal 15% true damage. Limit once per turn per target. True damage that cannot crit or be blocked and ignores armor and vulnerability. That would be, that would work great with, say, Isengard, right? Any team that you're stacking Banes on top of a character, this, I think, would work very well. A lot of Shadow units would be using that. Let's look at the minor sets. Okay, the set of Bloodlust, whenever this character defeats an enemy, gain 30% turn meter. That is fantastic, and these stack. So if you throw these all on a character, you will have 90% turn meter. I mean, if you think about it, that would be good for Azak, right, from Isengard. When he uses his special 2 and he's able to kill a person with 3 sets of these on here and just using minor sets, he'll gain an additional 90% turn meter, but through his ability, he's also granting himself might and Maher might. Alright, so we got Lifestealer, gain 2% lifesteal. It's alright, I guess. Raider, deal 2% more damage against enemies with more than 50% health. That could help out in PvE situations. Shield Wall, when this character has Taunt or Provoke, take 3% less damage. That is great for any tank character. Eladin, Wabute, Halberd, anyone that has a Taunt or Provoke, they would benefit from this minor set. I wouldn't stack these all together for taking 9% less damage. I would use this definitely with a major set. Armor Piercer, gain 2% armor piercing. That's pretty good too. I definitely like Shield Wall. Raider's good, and Bloodlust. I really like Bloodlust. I think that would do phenomenal in raids. Alright, let's look at the stats themselves. Additional to set bonuses, glyphs have both a primary stat and up to 4 secondary stats. Each glyph shape dictates the primary stats that are available to it. Primary stats directly add to the stats of the unit, whereas secondary stats are a % increase multiplied after all other bonuses have been added. The speed secondary stat is an exception to the rule in that it is a secondary stat whose value is added as opposed to being multiplied. Because they did say they don't want speed going crazy. You're not going to be able to lap other characters. Sorry, I look like I'm yawning every time. I've been up for about 20 hours. Alright, let's look at these stats per slot. Alright, so basically when you put these in each of the slots, right? If we look back here, right, we have slots let's do this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So depending on where you put your glyph in those slots, you'll gain the stat. So slot 1 is going to be health. Slot 2 will be damage. Slot 3, armor. Slot 4 is health, damage, armor, or focus. Slot 5 is health, damage, armor, or resistance. And slot 6 is health, damage, armor, focus, or resistance. So I could definitely say I would be using definitely slot 4 for focus for Haradrim. Maybe slot 6 as well for Haradrim, just getting that extra focus so you can get those Banes on there, get that Black Serpent Poison. I definitely think that would be best for them. Let's look at the secondary stats here. Up to 4 types per glyph. So we got a health, damage, armor, focus, resistance, crit chance, crit damage, block chance, which would be phenomenal, block mitigation, and speed. So speed's going to be a flat value. Obviously, we're going to read this little quick note about speed, but everything else is a % value, and again, that is a % multiplied after all other bonuses have been added up. So, with the sidebar about speed, it says, our intent with the glyphs is to give players agency over their collections by allowing them to customize their gameplay. They said this in the Reddit AMA. Speed is an integral part to that gameplay and thereby an important piece of the puzzle. The values of speed secondaries in the system will allow players to change the order of units in combat, but are not so high as it will allow units to lap others on the battlefield. We are well aware of the power that comes with changing speed and the ever cautious with the balance implications thereof. We will continue to monitor and adjust as required so that changes may occur in the future regarding the balancing of speed as a stat. So it's good. They're going to keep an eye on it to make sure that things aren't going completely out of whack. and they'll make adjustments thereof. So basically, if you're able to get a perfect roll, right, and your speed is just crazy, and they see that this is tilting, they're gonna scale it back, and it's gonna suck for those people that got the perfect roll, but it's, I guess, more in tune for everybody. So, leveling the glyphs. Obviously, we see here it's gonna be levels 1 through 10. Each glyph has a level that dictates the power and visuals of that glyph. Visuals? I wonder if we're going to get actual special animations or glowing weapons, or it's going to change the look of our relic. I'm interested to see that. The primary stat of a glyph is directly increased with glyph level. Secondary stats are added as a glyph reaches specific levels, but once applied, each stack of a secondary stat will not change. There is a maximum of 4 different secondary stat types per glyph. After revealing all these types, additional rolls will be applied to one of the revealing types. Refer to the following chart for the upgrade information. Alright, so let's look at these charts. So, alright, so it looks like it through level 1 through 5, the visual is going to be a stone. Okay, and then it's gilded. So, this is what they mean here. Let's take a look here. Okay, so tier 1, this is stone, and then this would be gilded. So that's all they mean by that. Still wondering what they mean by shape, though, right? I guess they mean the shape as maybe the glyph itself, because the shape, if you look at the shapes are all the same. I'm sidebarring, I know. Spiraling. Okay, let's go. Let's see. So, bringing up to level 1, you're going to have your starting stat. We know the visuals. I'm not going to go over the visuals because 1 through 5 is stone, 5 and 6 through 10 is gilded. So, number 2, you're going to get a stat increase, and you're going to reveal one of those secondary stats. You're going to get a stat increase on when you level to 3, another reveal, stat increase, a reveal, and a reveal. Okay, so basically, leveling this up to 5 will reveal all those secondary stats. When you bring it to 6, you're going to get a flat stat increase on your primary. 7 through 8, you're going to get stat increases on your primary, and you're going to get additional rolls, I guess percentages on what those additional multipliers will be, those additional secondary stats. Because remember, you can have 4 per glyph. Upgrading glyphs to level 5 only requires gold. Good to know. Level 6 and above, a new component called spells is required in addition to gold. Spells can be obtained via guild raids as rewards. That's good. The supply shop or the store. Alright, so we're going to be able to buy these. We're going to hopefully get these in probably the guild chest through the raids. I don't see them changing up the personal track at all. So, yeah, they're probably going to go in the guild chest for the week. Alright, let's see what we got here. So, there are 3 types of these spells: enchantment, illusion, and sorcery. Various amounts of the above spells will be needed to upgrade your glyphs, with the cost increasing with the level of each glyph. Finally, glyphs have a gear tier requirement in order to reach their full potential. This means that if a glyph is level 2, it will require tier 2. So which means you won't be able to bring any of these to tier 10 unless you have someone that is already in gear 10, level 10 of the gear. Sorry, very tongue-tied right now. Level 3 requires, and so on and so on. Alright, so to get the increase in primary stat, if a character's gear tier is lower than the requirement, that character can still equip it, but the primary stat on the glyph will be clamped to the equivalent of the highest glyph level for which... Okay, so basically, yeah, you'll be able to throw these on all your characters, but take your guy... Say you have one that's already gear 10, which I know is hard to get to gear 10. I currently don't really even have any at gear 9. I am working on my first gear 9 character. Of course, but I went wide with my roster. But you'll be able to level these all on that one gear 10 and then just, disseminate them through your other characters, because you will be able to, bring them in and take them off. However, it will cost gold to strip them out of your relic. So just keep that in mind. Alright, finding and managing the glyphs. Okay. Glyphs can be found in designated normal and hard modes in both light and shadow campaigns. To me, I think that is probably going to be a waste of energy, unless they put them on nodes which you're already farming. In other words, if you're farming shards, say you've got Laelio right here, right? If they put a glyph reward on that shard, then you can kill 2 birds with 1 stone. Otherwise, I think you're going to have to make that hard choice between, do I sacrifice leveling for these shards to get these glyphs. You're going to have to make that call. But again, it says here we will also be getting them in guild raids, the rewards from the guild raids, as well as purchase through the supply shop or the store. So you can hold on to your energy and use and just go through those, get it through your guild, get it through the supply shop or the store itself. Okay, there is a limit to how many glyphs a player can carry in their inventory. At any given time, if you find yourself having excess glyphs or wanting to make space, you can sell your glyphs for gold, so that's good. If you're down, say you basically have like 6 of the same glyph, right, and you're not going to use it, yeah, just go ahead and sell it for gold if you need gold for leveling characters and everything else. The more gold you'll get for your, let's see, the higher the level, the more gold, obviously. However, the spells will not be refunded when selling glyphs. Okay, so if you bring that glyph up to, say, level 7, level 8, right? You have to use those spells to bring them to those levels. When you sell off that glyph, say it doesn't have the rolls that you want on that glyph for the specific character you're going to be using, well, then you can sell it back, but you're not going to get the spells that you used to level that. So you're just going to get flat gold returned to you. Now it says here, and the last note, in order to help players manage their glyphs, players will be able to set favorite sets on a per character basis. Any favorite sets will appear at the top. All right, so they're giving us basically an item set, like a favorite. If you've ever played Diablo, you have like that set that you can swap out sets. That's basically what this is going to be. It's hard to believe that they're putting this in, and we still don't have saved squads, right, for the raids. I would like to see that added as well. But this is exciting. This is exciting. I'm looking forward to playing with these glyphs and finding out which set works with each character, which team is going to do best with what set. So yeah, it looks like we're going to have a lot of fun with this. A lot of theory crafting already happening currently right now in guild chat. And over at STZ, we are already looking at which sets theoretically would work best with other people. Withering, I'm liking Withering. Vitality seems lacking. Lembas seems very good. I think Last Stand is going to be phenomenal, though. I think Last Stand is going to be really good. Withering is going to be really good, and Lembas. But, because, like, I would put Lembas on Elrond, right? In theory, if you put this set on him, you're going to get his tidal wave turn 1, right? And if you have his other abilities leveled already, so you're going to do that turn 1. Turn 2, you can use a heal to gain back 2 stamina. So yeah, it's a no-brainer. So basically, yeah, I think that would probably be best on Elrond. Damage going, yeah. This is going to be very fun. A lot, like I said, a lot of theory crafting going on. Now, also, there is going to be a dev Q&A coming up, and it's going to be next Tuesday. Now, you can submit questions through the main Discord. I know in STZ we have 2 of our members actually taking part in it because they did go to the devs actually came out to certain members and certain content creators. No, unfortunately, I was not picked. I was not one of the content creators. Swag has been given the honor, so you can submit questions you want asked over on Swag's Discord as well. On the STZ side, Kronos and Rimble both been asked, so that's congratulations to those guys as well. But yeah, it's a Q&A specifically on the Glyph system, so definitely check that out. It's probably going to be right there on the official Discord. So I hope you guys found this informative. I hope you guys found this entertaining. If you like my content, go ahead and give me a like, a subscribe. Yeah, and until I talk to you guys again, have a great week, have a great weekend, adventure safe, and good luck to you and your fellowship.